Nicky got me rolling, got me shaking, got me aching, got me twitching, got me snitching, got me making a fuss. Nicky got me bowled over, got me over his shoulder, got me slapping, got me whacking, got me smacking my lips. Oh, Nicolas Cage, oh, Nicolas Cage, he's an international treasure of ours, yeah.
Would you give Angelina Jolie a hand job?
And with that,
If invited.
welcome to this new podcast. Hello.
So,
You wouldn't believe it, but we've practiced this before.
I'm Nathan.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Kieran.
And I'm John, the wild card.
And you may recognise us from the...
No, don't talk about it.
We're not going to talk about
Why
it.
Don't
not?
talk about
That
it.
is a...
It was a very popular podcast.
No,
talk
no,
about
it's
it.
behind us.
Right, okay, we don't talk
Our
about
hair
that.
have changed. Our... Well, mine hasn't.
The
but
location has changed.
The location has changed. The
I've had a
acoustics are very different.
I've had a haircut.
But our favourite actor has not.
No,
We're here to talk about...
I don't
It's
think.
always
Yeah,
changing.
I don't think we topped the first one we did. I've thought
What?
about
The
it
first
a lot.
what?
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly. What? We've never spoken about Nicolas Cage in the context of a podcast before, which is why we're choosing to talk about every single fucking one of his
Has a
films.
big bowl of rum punch.
And a whole lot of hot takes.
And we're
on-
ready to make some life choices.
This is our
on-
next
on-
Tuesday for the next 3 years. Every Tuesday.
We could do it every 2 weeks.
Ah, Christ.
I like
Do
you
you know-
guys, but...
Every second Tuesday for 6
I'll
years.
do it for Nick, honestly.
I'll do a lot for
him.
Nick, yeah.
How many films in total? 150? It's the Wikipedia
At least
page-
150.
Yeah, they don't even know.
I imagine there's probably some
Well, he's got a
forbidden
separate,
Nicolas
like-
Cage films out there.
So on some people's Wikipedia, there's the scroll down for filmography. He's got his own separate one for that. And there's a select few actors that have that privilege.
He shows up in everything.
Yeah,
He's
like-
just
Great.
there.
This is Nicolas Cage International Treasure, and at least for Prats production. As you gathered, we will be going through every single one of Nicolas Cage's films in random order, not from start to finish.
Like you could have done, like would make sense.
Yeah.
We're
No.
We randomized.
We've talked about this. Yes, chronological
you guys
order is
talked.
a
You
thing.
guys talked about it. I had to go and put my child to bed.
Oh,
So
laddie
I missed
da,
it.
look at the father playing the dad card.
I'm the dad.
Alright. So, yes. I feel like, yes, chronological order, yeah, that makes sense. But I like
Where's the fun?
I like
in
the
that?
Russian roulette randomness of it.
We are
okay?
one of the least diverse podcasts, so we had to add some diversity in the randomized choices.
What are you on about? We're 4 white guys in the
Yeah.
most diverse group of. I mean, I've got some Irish in me. That's a
I'm from Falkirk.
minority. He's
Yeah.
from Falkirk.
Yeah, we're
Exactly.
all from
We've got
Fife.
we've got a West Coast.
Falkirk and Fife.
We've got a West Coast.
Falkirk. Falkirk is East Coast.
No, it's not.
No, Falkirk's
No.
West.
It's kind of in the middle.
Soft edge.
It's not really a coast, to be
Central.
fair, yeah, so yeah, it's
No,
not true.
Yeah, landlocked fucker.
It's got a harbour.
There's a harbour.
What?
It has a
Not
canal.
Not a harbour, what do you call it? It's got a
Can you
dock.
see the sea?
No,
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 you're
you
not on the
can't.
coast, mate.
Somewhere you
Edinburgh's
could
higher than
see
you
the
guys.
There's a
sea
beach somewhere.
was in Los Angeles in Gone in 60 Seconds.
Los Angeles.
A 2000 film directed by Dominic Sena, written by H.B. Halicki in 1974. This is a remake.
Who was in the original?
I don't know.
A guy.
We should have.
At
I,
least
should,
one.
I remember earlier on. I was going to look that
Perhaps
up. but
even
But it
several
was only
women.
48 cars.
Yeah, that's the main difference.
Whereas-
an extra 2.
You have to steal 50 cars in this film.
I
And
prefer that. It's a rounder number.
Apparently Scott Rosenberg, who wrote this one, wanted to round it up.
Yeah.
And
Although
what-
it's not divisible by 8, so
Do we know if
is
there
it as cool?
No.
a loose remake
8 is the
of,
coolest.
of 1974?
Yeah, I think the main thing that kind of connects them to is the Shelby car that they sealed in. It's got the same name.
The GT4 500? 100.
Yeah.
I know nothing about comics. I'm hyped for this
The
film.
obsession with it is the same.
It stars Nicky Boy, Angelina Jolie, and Giovanni Ribisi. Synopsis is: Nicky Boy paints himself blue and drums with baldies, all in an effort to go faster than anyone's gone before.
Was that a,
What is this, Turbo?
Paints
Film
himself-
about the snail?
was
Maybe.
what was it a sort of conflation between the fact that Giovanni Ribisi was also an Avatar?
I didn't know that.
Who is Giovanni Ribisi?
Giovanni
Oh,
Ribisi, the brother.
I was wondering where I
Kip.
recognised Kip from.
Yeah, no, he's
I was
in
like, yeah, that
He's
guy's...
in lots of stuff.
He's in Ted. He's in Ted. He steals Ted in Ted.
Oh, he's the guy who does the dance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking he looks kind of like a budget
And
Johnny
he's
Depp.
also a fucking nutter because he's a Scientologist.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Aren't they all?
Painting a target on our back immediately. Don't ever hear this. Tom Cruise, fuck.
They hear it. They hear it.
Fuck you.
They hear everything. Don't you know this?
How did we find this 2-hour film?
I
Didn't
kind of
feel
wish
like
it
2
had
hours.
lasted 60 seconds.
I quite enjoyed that.
I mean, I enjoyed it, but 2 hours, man.
I enjoyed it.
The pacing felt really wrong, like all over the
I
place.
thought it was paced quite well. Like,
Didn't feel
it's
like
a
so.
slow build into the sort of massive.
I guess that's not what modern films do, though, right?
It was a very.
Modern films are more of a two-peak type thing, where this was just
Like
a
lot-
slow incline.
No, yeah, a lot of film they build to a climax, and then that's the payoff. Like there's that whole big chase at the end,
Yeah,
where Nicolas
Yeah.
Cage steals Eleanor.
yeah. In an era where films were 90 minutes long.
So what is Eleanor a thing in the original?
I don't
Yes.
know. Ah.
The same car. It's the exact same car.
67 Shelby GT.
Right, but is it named Eleanor?
Yeah, that's the kind of main thing that connects the two of them.
Is it they name their cars?
Yeah, that at the end. I think the endings are completely different from
Yeah.
what I remember. Yeah.
We should have watched the original.
I just looked there. And the
Oh
original,
well, I mean, it doesn't have Nicolas Cage in
the
it, so
original
why
does
would it?
sound pretty fucking cool. It's known for having wrecked and destroyed 93 cars
That's
Yeah.
more than 48.
in a 40-minute car chase scene in
That's less than
one
48.
of the longest in film history. A total of 127
That's too
cars
long.
were either destroyed or damaged throughout the
Blues
entirety
Brothers
of the
still
film.
holds the record, though, doesn't it?
What for the longest car chase or?
Maybe for them. Well, for at least the most police cars used.
Yeah, because they wrecked shit. Man.
Yeah.
I've still not seen Blues Brothers.
You love it.
Fucking love it.
I know I would. I like Dan Aykroyd. I like John Belushi.
The music sounds great. Everything's great.
Exactly. I've been at Universal Studios and there's guys that cut about dressed.
They're
as
on a mission
Blues
from
Brothers.
God.
Mm.
Hmm?
It's a
Mm.
tattoo I was going to
Yeah. This would have been a lovely tattoo.
get. Yeah,
Mm.
I'll get that eventually. I just
Yeah.
don't have the money. I'm very.
With Jim Belushi's dead face. Just...
Yeah. Get that on my calf.
His cocaine-addled moosh on
He'll
your,
haunt you at
on
night.
your leg.
Just the sort of maggot coming out of one eye. I like that. I enjoyed the film.
Yeah.
It's full of late 90s, early 2000s stuff that I generally hate.
Such
But I
as?
think it's...
Yeah, list, comprehensive.
72 hours, 72.
Oh,
Oh yeah, the
yeah.
24-hour
I
time.
think
thing,
that's
yeah.
a bit of a thing with Jerry Bruckheimer's
Mm.
films is the whole text shtick.
Hmm.
It was back when like visual effects just became possible.
Exactly, judging by the fucking horrendous photoshopping in the
opening
photos
scene. Yeah, well,
and
there's that
sequence.
CGI at the very start, which is horrible. But I'm impressed they did their own, like, actual car stunts and races and stuff.
It was-
That was fucking.
Rather than in the
Yeah.
first Need for Speed film, which is horribly CGI. Like
There's a Need for Speed film.
not Need for Speed, fucking
Fast and
Fast and
Furious.
Furious.
Yeah, Need for Speed's a video game
It's just
franchise.
because-
No,
yeah,
there's a
the-
Need for Speed film with.
There is
Aaron
Aaron Paul.
Paul, yeah.
Yeah, apparently it was bad.
Mr. Y.
Mr. Y, we gotta steal some cars.
Steal some cars, cook some meth, man.
Bitch.
Bitch.
That's so not Aaron.
Yeah, I would.
Mr. White, we have to steal some cars.
I would take this over the entire Fast franchise any day of the fucking week.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
Nicholas-
In terms of driving films, this is one of the
But did
better
they have a
ones.
family? Did they care about family? Did they
Yeah,
protect
it was-
family?
Did they have Vin Diesel?
They did have a family.
But
Yeah.
did they call it a family?
They didn't have to.
Was there a creepy bald guy?
Hand on heart, yeah.
Is there a member of
You
the
need
cast?
some more
that-
rum punch.
I'm gonna go get some more rum.
Rum
punch, yeah.
punch?
Or at least. Okay.
Excuse me.
But Nicolas Cage done most of the driving for it. All his stunts were all done by
As
Fuck
we
you, man.
learned-
You stole my bit of trivia, you fuck.
As we learned in The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
which is also a very good film.
Yeah.
I haven't
I've not seen that yet.
Oh.
We will, but we will.
We'll see what the
Yeah.
random number generator gods provide.
I found the name of the driving school that he learned at.
Oh, I can tell you that right
Oh, fucking do it. I know it was in Arizona, that's all I
It
know.
was the-
IMDb.
The Bondurant. Wait, what the fuck is that? Bondurant Driving School in Phoenix, Arizona, Willow Springs. Another driving school as well. And the Bobby
Phoenix.
Ward Stunt Driving School in preparation for the film. He liked the race car driving so much in school, so he did it to continue to pursue it as a hobby after the shooting was completed. So now he does race car driving sometimes.
Sometimes.
So did Rowan Atkinson.
We're recording on the wobbliest table known.
Yeah, that's not gonna
from
last.
around, but yeah, very 90s.
Yep.
Two 90s. But
Had Angelina Jolie in Dreads.
It did. I didn't recognize her throughout the whole thing,
No.
and then
Yeah.
it said Angelina Jolie at the end of it. What?
You didn't
Did
pay
they?
attention to the opening sequence.
No, I didn't.
No.
I saw her name in bold.
I saw her name and was
And I
like,
was
Maybe she'll have
maybe
dinner with
Angelina
you
Jolie.
then.
and I was
Saw her name.
and I was much excited.
I mean, actually no. This isn't the time for hot takes about Angelina Jolie.
Hot take.
Let's do a hot take.
John's hot take.
I think she's overrated.
I mean, I think probably the majority of everyone in Hollywood, judging by how much they earn, is overrated. I think
That's
what
true.
they do is like, and the money they make is
Not Bob Kelso from Scrubs, who was in this film for
Who's
10
Bob
seconds.
Kelso from Scrubs.
He's the manager, the head doctor of the
The
hospital
private doctor.
in Scrubs, and he's the guy in this film who gives one of the guys 2 like nickels or something, and it's like,
Oh,
yeah.
and it's the valet. and
quarters.
They steal his car.
But it's 50 cents, a whole 50 cents.
Mhm.
Oh my.
They steal his car. He gets his car.
Did you like recognize him straight from that?
Yeah, Bob Kelso. He was in the Muppets as well. When we were, oh wait,
The forbidden knowledge. All right, yeah. But what I mean about
The
Angelina,
giant podcast-shaped elephant in the room. Shall we move on?
I believe we shall.
where's my phone?
we're
I
gonna be
don't
terrible.
know.
I have
All right.
notes on there.
What do you think?
Phone.
Where's your phone's over there? What do you think of Christopher Eccleston as the bad guy?
He was good.
I like
I
him.
was expecting them to
Young.
give him a weird fucking American accent, or
send me on a wild goose chase?
because I'm
Oh,
sort
that's
of
a remote.
Yeah,
I'm sort of used to him being in American films and them sort of really underusing him. Like when he was in the absolute fucking catastrophe that was Thor: Dark World, and he played the villain,
yeah.
but
The Dark Elf.
he was completely covered.
Malekith.
He was completely covered in prosthetics, and they basically just didn't use his voice. They just put it through like a
It's Malekith from Nordic Legends.
okay,
I don't know.
Possible.
fine.
What? What do you say okay for?
Yeah, Kieran. What's with that judgy attitude?
I'm not starting beef. I'm not-
my phone. It's right fucking next to you.
Well, to be fair, I actually thought it was my wallet.
Yeah.
You just keep your money in your phone, do you?
Yeah, it's
Many
all-
people do.
I have some knowledge on Christopher Eccleston. He did not like his acting in this film, and he also hated the film as itself. Someone they asked him before he was on an interview before he became Doctor Who, because they're like, "Oh, everyone knows you from Gone in 60 Seconds," and that he didn't like that people knew from Gone in 60 Seconds.
Was it one of his? Well, he did like Sleepy Hollow, the Danny Boyle film, possibly before this.
That was Johnny Depp on it. Sleepy Hollow.
Not Sleep.
Is that the Sleepy Hollow's the one? No.
Yeah, Sleepy Hollow. Hollow's Johnny Depp.
That's where we used to
Christina
go.
Ricci,
Is that the one where
it
he's
was
got no
Donald
head?
Duck.
Christopher Walken, Michael Gambon.
What's the
Christopher
fucking
Lee.
Danny Boyle film with Ewan McGregor and Christopher Eccleston?
Trainspotting.
No. Christopher Eccleston isn't in that.
Fucking 28 Days Later.
No,
He's in-
that's a zombie film.
Yeah, but he's in.
It's not a zombie film. They're
infected.
It's the rage virus or something. I can't.
Fucking someone Google it.
Christopher
The
Eccleston.
three people on phones. No one Google it.
Homophobic slur. Asian woman driver joke.
Right.
In-betweeners jerk
Oh
off
yeah,
joke.
I was like, is that racist? I really questioned that moment. I was like,
Maybe I'm
that's
just
a racist joke.
Maybe because I saw it like that.
Yeah, I was like, because there's that old trope that, and I'm not the first person to say this, and I don't hold this opinion, but there's an old joke that's like, it gets put in Family Guy lots, that apparently Asian women are very bad drivers, and it just so happens that the guy,
But
what's his fucking name? I swear I know none of the names of
Kaneki.
anyone in this. The guy that's doing the driving
Bruce
test
Strucker,
shit,
yeah.
that guy who's a veteran, not an actual veteran, but he's a veteran of stealing cars, as
I
he
know, we
mentions
shouldn't
in
joke about
every
veterans.
single time that he steals a car.
Yeah, he's a driving teacher, and he's teaching a woman who happens to be Asian, and she crashes into everything.
I mean, it's a very funny scene.
They also
because-
use the Onigo.
I'm just saying it's a funny scene.
Okay.
Carry
They also
on.
use the F slur, and they.
It's
make
the 90s!
It is the 90s. That's why it reeks of the 90s.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't get caught, because it doesn't get called out.
No.
Or there's no sort of change in it, because like at least in...
Should we have a leaderboard of Nick Cage films that should be cancelled? As we go through.
That feels like something we should have thought about before.
I mean, it depends. I think we
We'll
should
have it
call-
for the second
No, I
episode.
don't know about because I don't know about cancelling the whole film, but I think if we maybe like figure
scene in.
out how many seconds of a film we would cancel
Okay.
and see which of them,
how the
which of the,
runtime
which of
gets
it is actually which of it is actually fucking.
I
usable.
enjoy that idea,
Yeah.
but it sounds like more work than I'm prepared to do.
Glad to have you on board, John.
Give myself a concussion.
Okay.
You see, you've got a concussion.
I said I gave myself a concussion.
Oh.
He's drinking.
Yeah.
Silence. That was
Pregnant silence, which allows me to actually make the point I was trying to make about
Okay.
Angelina Jolie
Okay.
10
Yeah, go
minutes
for it.
ago, was that every time I feel like every time Angelina Jolie's in a film, everyone's like, "Oh look, Angelina Jolie's in a film," okay? But like, she's just an actress like any other.
I don't know how much I've actually seen her in. I think I saw a bit of Tomb Raider.
I like Tomb Raider. I like
I
the
I
Lara
saw
Croft
Tomb
films.
Raider. I
The
saw
Tourist.
The Tourist.
Seen the
Oh
Tourist.
god, no we didn't.
No, we've watched the
No, we
Tourist. We've
never-
just not spoken.
Yeah,
we've
we've
never
never
spoken with
spoken
each
about-
other about.
No,
the
this is our
Tourist
first time
around a
talking
microphone.
as
Yeah.
Yeah.
an organised group about
Yeah,
that
we-
film,
We didn't watch the Tourist together.
including the actor Johnny Depp.
Yeah, we've never
yeah.
talked about him before.
No, I don't know who John.
And
Who's
his
John Depp?
victory in a court case
Ah,
that we're not going to speak
yeah.
about because
No.
fuck that.
I got a massive rant from my
Because
sister
everyone
about
else is
that
fucking
court
talking
case.
about it, so we're just
yesterday.
gonna we're gonna focus on.
We're
Nicky
your
Boy.
little corner of comfort away from all that.
Yeah, especially since Amber did an interview the other day.
Shut
if
up!
you, if you want information, fucking go and watch that. Go and watch the trial. Go somewhere else. We're here to talk about
Nicolas
the
Cage.
only person in the world that matters.
Nicolas Cage
The-
in that film that happened 22 years ago about car theft.
Jolie was in Shark Tale.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Who is she in
she
Shark
was the romantic.
She was the hot
interest
fish.
Opposite
The sexy fish. What other
the
fish, could she
wait,
be?
when did this come out? When did it? When?
You know who
when
else
was
is
it?
in that film?
2004.
Yeah,
Eddie
so I was
Murphy.
like 6,
Will
and I was like,
Will
yeah,
Smith,
I'd
who's a Scientologist.
Right, not Eddie Murphy.
I was like 6.
Yeah, but he gets just
yeah,
his
I'd
wife
bang a
just like
fish.
uses him, so it's a shame.
True.
What?
Yeah,
We're not talking about that because that's current affairs and we don't do that.
Shark Tale?
yes, it's a very
Yes.
hot topic at the moment.
I've got a DVD copy.
That
of
has Jack
Shark
Black in
Tale
it as well, doesn't
that
it?
was
Dude.
Jack Black.
Yeah.
He's the shark.
Yeah.
I might be
Which is-
incriminating myself here, but I've got a pirated copy of Shark Tale that's got a guy standing up in the middle of it.
So
going
did
you
to
get it from
go to do a
Fenrir?
piss. I did get it. I got it from the dolphin in Fenrir.
No, you're blowing their operation wide open. You're
No, that guy's-
hunted down by the Dundee Mafia.
I got it from my granddad. He's been fucking dead for 11 years. So this
So
is.
this gets released, there's going to be police knocking at doors. Brought that fucking copy.
You fucking stole Shark Tale.
What's the DVD, cunt? I hope they don't find the
Alright,
Sleeping Beauty
that's a
pirate
bit,
guy.
actually. That's a bit. Fucking just recording as normal and just
Who is fucking
hammering on the door. I hear you talking about
To which
pirate
I
films
say
on
to them,
TV.
wait, who uses DVDs anymore? If you've not heard of Pirate Bay, you fucking boomer.
You boomer zoomer.
Right.
I mean, the best thing in that whole movie was the car jump scene on the bridge.
That was ridiculous.
Do you know, according to IMDb in the wee trivia fucking section, that it is actually possible to land that jump? Your car would be fucked. After.
Yeah.
His
Yes,
car was
fuck.
fucked.
I was just
Yeah,
thinking.
but he drove away.
I was just thinking. I landed a similar jump. I was on a country road.
Like you flew 100 fucking feet.
No, I didn't.
On
I
a
mean,
fucking bridge. What the fuck are you
so I
talking
was
There's a similar situation to this.
I was on a country road and there was a hidden dip that was not signposted very well, and I went over the lip and
boys.
I hit some air.
Yes, miss.
I hit some air and it was fucking terrifying. And the first thing I
your
did was
glass
stop
to
and
me,
check my
boy.
car. But yes, it was.
Sorry, boy.
Thinking back on it, sheer ecstasy. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really fucking 250
That was
meters.
so
Just
coherent.
It just makes me want to fuck Angelina Jolie in a car. Like.
Right.
Alright, so, okay, the question needs to be asked.
Bring me your goblet.
Which I think was the first question asked in this recording. What's more exciting? Having sex or stealing cars?
I've never stolen a car.
I've
Yeah.
not stolen a car either, but I did think that if I was going to be a career criminal, that's
There's-
probably what I'd go for.
There's some hand sanitizer.
I mean,
Due to the recent... We're not talking about that because that's current.
alright, wait, no. If there's a crime, what's the coolest crime to commit?
I'd say I'd commit GTA. 100%.
Yeah, you're talking about, you stealing cars, right?
I'd
You're the
steal cars.
baseline.
I'd say robbing a bank shop for them. Like, because
Probably like
But do they keep-
kidnapping and then keeping them in your basement for years and like...
that's
But the thing-
boring,
but the
though.
thing-
You don't have a
But
basement.
the
do
thing
you?
with cash, right, is that that's affected by inflation.
But it's the whole, like, getting, like...
Yeah, but in that case, wouldn't
Standoff.
being a fine art thief be cooler?
That would be cool.
A fine art thief would be quite cool.
Yeah.
Just
Bring your glass
It
to
does
me.
remind me of a Johnny Depp film that I remember seeing a long time ago. Have you guys seen Mordecai by any chance?
What's the laugh?
Woo!
For our audio only listeners, yes, this is a brand new bit.
Get the fucking...
Nathan has spilled punch all over the recording equipment.
No, I haven't. It's fine.
Rum punch, you dumb
Just
cunt.
over a little bit of this.
Rum punch.
Just a
Sorry.
little bit
It's
of
not
a munch.
Rum
A
punch.
rum punch. Rum punch. Rum punch. Rum punch.
That definitely clipped the mic.
That was a high note.
Only just.
Only
Hey.
just. We're fucking losing our edge, man. Yeah, if you were going to be.
Apologise.
Wait, did you say the fine art? Who said
No,
fine
you
art?
said
No.
fine arts.
So you'd be a bank. You'd be a
I
bank
don't know if I
robber.
want to be a bank
And
robber.
I didn't say, I was just arguing with you. I
Fine
haven't
art-
decided what the coolest
Fine
crime
art
would be.
thief.
A war
What about you?
criminal?
If you- a
Wait,
war
no.
criminal.
And no,
The
but war
coolest
Fit
criminal.
right in, we're not talking about it.
I've been working
What's
like
cooler than shooting a load of civilians in a war zone?
But like, you get to go to like the UN and stuff and stand in front of the whole trial. I think
The
that's
Nuremberg, yeah.
yeah. I feel like that'd be the
Get
best
to
place.
meet Angela. Who's the
Angela Merkel.
Yeah.
I think
Leonardo
she
DiCaprio.
retired.
Yeah. That's current affair. Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, he's fucking a UN guy now.
The man in the Iron Mask. Not seen that.
No.
I've seen cats make
The only
can.
guy I can think of in the Iron Mask is that shitty G.I. Joe film.
Oh, that's fucking
And
great.
that's
that,
not
that
Leonardo
one with
DiCaprio.
Channing Tatum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Magic Mike.
they're making a new one of it.
A new
Oh,
Magic
a new
Mike.
magic, wait, a new Magic Mike.
Yeah.
Is it XXXXXXL?
Fucking yes.
I did watch Magic Mike out of interest.
I've never watched that.
last
I do
year.
want
I have seen it. I
It
don't
was-
know how I saw it, but I have.
It was kind of good. I have
There's
to
a
admit.
stripper
Is it
thing
like,
coming.
You just like seeing boy butt moving around.
Is it like?
No, if I'm going to watch Boy Butt, then I'm going to watch Full Monty every time.
Is it like the Full Monty,
It's
or is it more like their professional strippers.
They're professional strippers. Yeah, it's kind of it shows the kind of gritty world.
They're not just professional strippers; they're on a fucking stage.
With
being a male
Matthew
stripper.
McConaughey.
Yeah, exactly. Matthew McConaughey. If you want to see Matthew McConaughey in a cowboy hat showing his six pack, then
Watch
either
Dallas
watch that or
Buyers
watch Dallas Buyers Club, where he's only showing his six pack because AIDS is riddling his body.
And he's very homophobic, but it serves a purpose in that one.
Uh huh.
Shouldn't say homophobia serves a purpose, but on we go.
No, but he learns from it. He learns from his
storytelling
the errors in his
point.
judgment. Exactly, and the people that he meets teach him things. I was trying to link that to this film, but does Nicolas Cage learn anything from anyone?
He learns how to be a good older brother, which he already knew.
Yeah, because the whole reason why
He was already a great older brother, and he was also really good at raising
Yeah,
children.
so for anyone
in the
that-
very the first scene we see Nicky Cage in the film, he's doing some kind of driving school for toddlers with go-karts,
and he says
Yeah.
that,
at a fuel station.
and he says the phrase "Let's ride."
Right, that's pretty out of context.
Moments of Nick Cage.
No, I've got a few.
There's tons.
They could do a sequel with Nicolas Cage and these children. He teaches them how to steal shit. Just him
Steal go-karts.
Yeah, like little children. They ride up in go karts, jump
Yeah,
out.
watch
They'll
that,
yank
yeah.
people out of their cars, jump in, steal their car.
Yeah,
fuck off.
and stab him a few times.
Yeah, it
as
says
they
Like
go.
a Lost Boys type thing.
Yeah.
Nick Cage is the Rufio.
I'd watch
The
that.
Rufio.
Rufio.
That sounds like some frat boy bullshit.
It's Hook with Robin Williams.
And Dustin Hoffman, and Glenn Close, who's in that.
Oh, you remember
Glenn
names.
Close plays the pirate that goes in the boo-boo box.
The Boo Boo
The
Box.
boo box.
The Boo Box.
Yeah.
Who plays Shmuel?
All right. That's right. Another Nicolas Cage moment is
shit.
when he's drifting
I know
around
it's
in the
BT
GT's
advert,
We're having two
numbers.
conversations. Isn't
Yeah, I'm
good.
talking at the mic and at you, so it's fine.
Well, that's nice of you.
Yeah, but when he's doing
We're
all
already
the
having a conversation.
when he's doing all the stunt driving, right? In the GT, whatever the number is, he looks at the mic a number of times, and I feel like that was a very Nicolas Cage moment.
Right. Should we do a little segment on
Nicolas Cage moments.
Cage's background?
No,
I was going to do a
why-
segment on cageisms in the
Okay.
film.
that yeah.
So for
Can
that,
I
there was,
preempt this?
okay, right. hit
Can
me
I
with-
preempt
So-
that?
Yeah. Do you want to
I'm
preempt
not-
that?
cycle.
Use can go.
Nicolas Cage.
Can I preempt that?
Yes.
All right. I feel like we should definitely do a segment where we talk about Nicolas Cage moments,
Okay.
moments in the film that stood out to us like very much.
Can I preempt that?
classic Cage.
Yeah, of course.
So I think that in this podcast there should be time.
Can I preempt that?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that in this podcast there should be times where we comment on.
Wait. Can I preempt? that?
Yeah, of course.
So there are these moments in the podcast where specifically we talk.
Oh,
about
sorry. Can I just jump
Oh,
in
you
there?
go,
Yeah. Daniel Beaton, I think you had something to say.
Yeah, I wanted to do a segment called Cageisms.
Oh wait, sorry. 1
He
second,
needs to
Nathan.
preempt
Sorry,
it.
I think you had
No,
something
I
to
think
say.
you had something.
Okay, well, I feel like we should.
Hang
do
on,
so-
wait just a second.
Of course,
Daniel
yeah.
had something to say.
Okay, so the Cageism, the first I did the first one already. The let's ride to the kids, and then the next one was when I think they were in. It was when they were running for the guys who were trying to shoot them, in that totally irrelevant gangster that I thought was going to pop up at the end of the film, that he was going to be the problem with the unicorn, as they call it, Eleanor, the Shelby, and that every time he tries to steal it something goes wrong. I thought that would be what goes wrong, but it's when they're hiding from him in the I think it's when they're hiding from him in the coffee shop, and Nicolas Cage just says a fucking line and then goes, "Aight!"
Yeah,
I don't remember.
that was a very Nicolas Cage moment. Yes.
And then they play Lowrider right before they go out to do the boost, and he just sort of
That's-
chilling it, and then he goes, "Okay,
No,
let's ride."
it could have been better.
It could be a
There
dance
could have been a
sequence.
fight.
Like just him
Jigging,
jigging. Whatever the fuck
Jizzling?
dances, so, like moving his arms, doing his back.
I
Having a
think
good
that-
wee time.
I do think that would have been a bit too much.
No.
No.
I think
the
it's
whole thing
very-
is that
I think it was very clear when, like, you know, the camera did focus to his face and he was holding it. He was dancing in his mind.
But the people in the background
he
were
needed
all
to dance.
absolutely
Yeah,
that was
dance.
That was a brain boogie. That one.
Yeah,
He was
fucking
preparing
smelling
himself.
colours in that moment.
You saw
He was
the
good
other
to go.
veterans. They were like
Yeah, they were
getting their
dancing in
shit
the
on.
background,
They
they
were
were ready.
getting their shit on, and then the young guys were like, "What the fuck's
I
going
want,
on
I
here?" And
wanted
then he was like,
eight.
"Okay,
fucking-
let's go."
however long Lowrider is, I wanted that just a dance sequence, and that's it. And then it cuts maybe to like sharp cuts to them like preparing because they cut off Lowrider. Maybe they couldn't get the full song, like a licensing for the full song,
yeah.
so maybe that's why they didn't.
Yeah, what was the fair use laws at this time?
Probably.
I don't really want to know
know.
the answer to that question.
They kind of
Fucking,
do. I want to know the
I mean,
history.
Yeah, I don't know.
You brought it up.
I know. I just. There's no gateway between my brain and my
Okay.
I just spoke.
I
Are
have
those
a,
all the cageisms you have?
That's all the cageisms.
Yeah,
there's only
but there was,
three
but
cages.
but
There
there
was
was
three
a
that stood
couple
out,
of lines in the film that, like, the writing, like the script writing was dog shit in this film, and like the line when he's speaking to his mother for that one time, he's like,
yeah.
"Things I
Who's the
told
actor
you-
that played the mother? I kind of recognize.
She was like, "I gotta do
Oh, no.
things,
That's fair
things
enough.
I told you I'd never do again."
Kieran research
Like that, but it
Who
was
played the mum?
shit.
Who played the mum?
Also, the line.
That wasn't shit though. I felt like, I mean, yes,
I never thought that.
he was dramatizing it a bit, but I did
No,
feel
I
like
don't think he was.
it
I
was
think
a
he could have
very-
played that a lot.
He
I know,
played
but
it
there was an
very
unspoken
calm,
conversation,
wasn't
and it was revealed later in the film that the mother was fully aware of what, you know, Memphis, which is Nicolas Cage's character, which we
What the
have not
fucking
mentioned at
name?
all.
His code name.
I'm caught. If I have a
Really?
son, I'm
He's called
calling him
someone
Memphis.
else.
No, it's Memphis.
Oh, he's called someone else, Jack or something.
Yeah, no, he does. Yeah, fucking, he gets called someone else by the detective.
Yeah, his name isn't Memphis.
The
that's just,
detective
like,
played by
his street name. If you're from the streets like me, John.
All right. Let me just continue my
Delroy
point, though.
Lindo. Delroy Lindo.
Oh.
Detective Roland. I know none of the names of pretty much everyone in this, but I knew the actors. It was a pretty fucking stacked cast.
The mum is called Grace Zabriskie.
Well,
Oh yeah, I
she's,
know.
she's
her.
known for.
I've seen everything she's in, which might just be
she's
this
known
film.
for Armageddon, The Grudge. She was recently.
Armageddon, another Jerry Bruckheimer
She was
film.
recently in
Yeah, a
the-
bit of fucking trivia there for
Yeah,
you, son.
She was in the video game The Quarry, which is one of those.
Oh,
Oh,
I heard
shit! I
about
was
that.
looking. Yeah, I'm
she's one of the voice actors in The Quarry, which looks fucking great.
I saw the trailer for it.
Yeah.
It looks fucking amazing.
Twin Peaks, a couple
What-
of other things.
right. In that podcast we never did.
Yeah.
It's the film. It's the, it's the film that Large Edward. Was that a Nicolas
Family
Cage?
Man, yeah.
Was that Nicolas Cage? So we're gonna
Yeah,
do that again.
we're doing that again.
Are we gonna rebirth?
I think we can expect. I think we can expect relatively large Edward to make an appearance with his 10-gallon hat and his big Trump
His
totem
hat
views.
Wait, okay.
The size of his hat depending
Well,
on
no,
the
no.
level of
All right,
his
so we have Big Ed. Big Ed is small time. We have Large Edward, who's medium time.
Right,
And
don't
then we
fucking
have-
demean Big Ed here. Big Ed's not fucking small time.
He did start a space casino, but on you go.
And then we have Giant Edison.
Giant Edison.
That's the
Giant
fucking
Edison.
McDonald's large meal version of Big Ed.
That's the
that's the double Big Mac.
That's the grand Big Mac. They're not the fucking double. That's the grand.
fucking Godfather.
I don't, I had a valid point
That's
about this
fucking
film that
dumb.
you guys took from me with your fucking inane nattering.
What did they take from you?
I can't remember.
Angelina Jolie and how you didn't think she
No,
was that good.
that's been like 20 minutes ago. now.
Cageisms, as I would like to preempt. Nicolas Cage is divisive because he can often be flamboyant,
Extremely.
and there's a reason to this. There's method to the madness, which I didn't know about when I was younger, and for part of that reason, I didn't like Nicolas Cage at all. And then we didn't do a podcast, and then I started liking Nick Cage.
Yeah.
He takes a lot of his inspiration from German Expressionism, which was a movement in the late 80s or early 1900s, late 1800s of cinema. Films like Metropolis and M and Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. and all that, and Nosferatu, which took these sort of like mad sort of acting styles, very expressive acting styles. You'd be like, you put your hands up and go back if you're shocked.
They were done a bit later, and see like Doctor Strangelove and things like that.
Right, okay.
Like quite it's just really sort of expressive melodrama. Like what you
I
could
feel like that
possibly
might actually be
describe
older than
as
even
overacting. And when you think of Shakespeare, that's probably where
I feel like though that's partially because facial expressions, like in any kind of stage setting, you know, where like you'd have people perhaps 30, 50 meters away from you. They're not going to be able to read your facial expression.
Yeah,
you have to overact. You have to express yourself.
The big
even for
difference-
people at the far end of the auditorium or anything.
It's the big,
That's ancient.
it's
That
the
could
big difference
ancient Greek even.
between stage and screen acting. Is that screen acting, you have to sort of adjust to a shot size
Yeah.
and how big you act, but
You have to reach everyone.
A stage, you have to reach everyone in the room.
Did Nicolas Cage ever do stage acting?
I don't know.
I feel
Something
like
we
he
should
came
find out.
straight from the school of stage acting, though.
I don't know.
I know,
I've always felt
I know
like
that
it.
I think his first film was at some
Fast
Times at Ridgemont High. That was it.
Was
that
I think
Will be on the
was through-
podcast?
Coppola?
He was Nicolas Coppola in
Right.
that.
Okay.
Because
He is Francis Ford Coppola's nephew.
yeah, so Nick Cage's
That
name is
Important person.
Nicholas Kim
He directed
Coppola.
The Godfather.
He was in TV.
Francis Ford Coppola. Yeah.
He was in a TV show before.
Awesome.
Yeah.
He
That's got
was
blood in him.
that film. He was in a TV show called The Best of Times, which was just the role of Nick. It was only a pilot that he was in.
It
Though.
was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
We'll
that?
get to it.
It was the age of
Well,
wisdom.
we need
It was
to.
the-
All we've got so far on this is the films, the big films.
Yeah.
We need to dig deep and
Yeah.
find the sort of audition
We need to
tapes.
stalk
little-
Nicolas Cage. We need to ask every
coming
single
for
one
you.
of his ex-wives.
Next podcast is gonna be us filming in like bullshit.
It's also going to be us celebrating a fucking...
If you hear background noise and police shout, just ignore it. We're okay.
I mean, speaking of Nick Cage stalking, in that podcast that we definitely didn't do,
it
I
doesn't
then
exist.
joined several Nicolas Cage fan pages on Facebook, and fuck me, they are fanatical. Like, there's some people that genuinely will post a photo of Nicolas Cage every day and say, "Hope you have a lovely day." There's
Okay.
people that pretend to be him and then write in broken English, "Me love to meet you. Me love all my fan."
We'll get into this properly. We'll do
Yeah.
some deep dives into the Cage-verse.
Yeah.
Because as we know from a podcast we didn't do, all Nicolas Cage films are connected in some
Yeah.
way.
The Nicolas Cage Cinematic Universe!
Which is something that definitely need to do a fucking box set. Can you imagine? Imagine owning that box set.
You could use it as furniture, man.
No, that doesn't use it. That's a collector's item. We don't touch
Or
that.
just a film where Nicolas Cage plays himself over and over again, and you have all the nice Nicolas Cages, and then like the bad ones, like you've got your Ghost Rider, you've got every time I don't know fucking else.
Wait, so it's a
Like-
story about
like-
Nicolas
na-
Cage who's trapped in this kind of purgatory, right? Where he has to relive different lives over and over and over and over and over and over again, okay? And he has to learn to live in these lives, right? He has to embrace the change, the flow, the reincarnation.
Is this a different life for each day, or is it like a certain situation will call upon a
It's
certain
like a collection of moments.
Every time he wakes
Right?
up, he's in Nicolas Cage.
Like everything.
That's
Okay,
been a
everything you
Sandra
see in a
Bullock
film
film.
is all
right.
that he
So
lives.
do you think you could map out a day in the life of through all of these films? Like he's one character waking up and going to the toilet and brushing his teeth, and then he's another character going and making his coffee, and then he...
Yeah.
Another cat
He is
character trying
completely.
on like fake vampire teeth.
That's why he's so bad in the early films, because he's completely disconnected. Like there's no anchor because he keeps switching between these different characters, these different locations, these different relationships, right? So he has no idea what's going on. But as he builds
think he was bad
experience,
in the early
he
films.
just learns to live in the moment. Eventually, he starts to listen to the the environment around
That's
him,
the
the
thing. I
people
think he
around
was just
him.
being more himself in the early films, and then he just
Well, no,
went a
it
little
was-
bit
yeah.
mainstream.
No, it was himself, but
Ish.
he
I don't
was.
think it was mainstream at all. It was weird how it got so successful. How it got so successful, that weird stuff.
It was weird enough to become successful.
Yeah.
Like people remember.
Well, I say mainstream. That's no. I think that's a bit of an insult to him because he's consistently been one of the actors that's happy to do independent.
Yeah, in his
Films.
most recent career, which got the piss take out of in The Unbearable Weight of
Massive Talent, yeah.
Which is also
Which
a
he
great
did. I think
Tempting.
the original pitch was to have someone playing him,
Right.
but then the director was like, "No, we need."
Yeah,
we
because he
need-
has
we need
he
to
has
do-
Ghost like all throughout the film he sees Ghost Rider
Is it Ghost Rider?
I think it is
I don't
Nicolas
know
Cage.
what it is.
Do you not?
I don't know. Because I was talking about it's an acquaintance.
Is it just a guy on a motorbike?
No, it's Nicolas Cage. Like a younger
in a
Nicolas
leather
Cage.
jacket like the one you brought today?
Yeah, he's
with
wearing
like
that blonde.
slightly long blonde hair. Like
I
over
think it
his-
is, but it might not be. But he's
I
basically
don't- I've
speaking
not seen
to
it.
a Nicolas Cage, like a younger version of himself, and he's like the one telling him he's a massive star, and older Nicolas Cage is trying to be like, "No, I want to do what I want to do," and he's like, "No, you're a star. You're gonna fucking
That's
do
kind of
this."
cool. It does. It is quite. It does actually link back to. I was listening to an interview where he was talking about when he was in the car with his uncle, and he was talking about like apparently he was when he was young he was very egotistical and he was like, yeah, I'm going to be a fucking star.
Yeah.
Like I think he was sort of embracing the whole nepotism behind the Coppola name,
Right.
and then after Fast Times at Ridgemont High, he ditched it, and he's sort of gone his own way because if you didn't research him, you wouldn't know that there was any sort of link between him and the Coppolas.
No.
Because
But they both
Nicholas
made
has
an
made a
imprint
name
on
for
the
himself in
movie
his own
scene.
right. Yeah.
Definitely. And on that note, as we all enjoy Nicolas Cage, as we do, we wouldn't if we were doing this podcast. Thank you for joining us for episode 1. I hope you enjoyed episode 0.
I did. I certainly did. I'm looking forward to episode 2 as well. I think we're going to really surprise you. I've been John Carmichael.
I've been Keaton Harris.
I've been Daniel Beaton.
Nathan Lord is right.
Yeah.
And next time, I do not have the films. Fuck.
Okay.
It's a mystery.
While Nathan
Did
is
you just make a list?
yeah, while Nathan is failing to bring up
Shit,
the
okay.
loaded list of the random number
It was
generators.
It's on my fucking computer. It's not here. We don't have it.
I mean, how hard can it be to enter like 156 names or something?
And then John going, "We're only doing 3, and then we're just going to cut it." So we took it to 5. Then he left after 5. So we'll do the next 5 films.
We could
Well,
just
we do the
right,
next
do you know
one,
what?
yeah.
I'll flick through his filmography now.
No, it's decided
that's
already.
It's decided.
already
It's decided.
What, have you guys
It's
done the
a
whole
mis-
fucking...
No.
fine.
We've done
John
5
five.
because John would
Five.
let us do 150.
Yeah, because
He
there
wanted
has
to go and play a fucking video game.
And I did! But there's also an element of surprise and an element of anticipation.
What video game did you play?
You.
It was
Fuck
none of
you.
your business.
Goodbye.
Nicolas Cage, Nicolas Cage is an international treasure of ours, yeah. Oh, Nicolas Cage.
At least 4 Prats.